Hare Krishna. Namaste. Chapter 5, entitled as Karma Sannyasa Yogam. Sloka 7. Yoga-yukto viśuddhātmā vijitātmā jitendriyaḥ sarva-bhūtātma-bhūtātmā kurvann lipyate. And the usage of terms like nityanam, chetananam, bahunam confirms that the living entities are many, as these terms are in plural, which is what Krishna mentions in the 12th sloka of the second chapter as well. Ime janadipaha, these assembled kings. And the fruits of the action are given by the Lord. That is also mentioned here in the sloka vidadhati kaman, as opposed to any apurva, which some unseen matter, achit, gives the result, which is being promoted by mimamsas. That is also being defeated. So now only one question that's hanging, which needs to be addressed. We understand now that Brahman is one. He is the Supreme Lord. It's not many. But question is, who is that Brahman? Because that is not mentioned in this Upanishad statement, Nityo Nityanam. The answer we can find in Upanishads itself. It is very specific that Brahman has a name, he has form, he has qualities, he is the Paramatma present in everyone's heart. So, now the question is, who is that? Narayana Param Brahma Tattvam Narayana Paraha Narayana Param Jyotir Atma Narayana Paraha. So it is said in the Upanishad that Narayana is Param Brahma. He is the absolute truth. So it's just not one. There are many places where it mentions that he is the cause. From him every other things comes. Narayanat Brahma Jayate, Narayanat Prajapati Prajayate, Narayanat Indro Jayate. And it goes on saying how Brahma came from Narayana, Prajapati, Indra, Vasus, Rudras, and all Adityas, and so forth. Eko vai Narayana asin na Brahma, na Ishano, na Apo, na Agni samonime. And it was just Narayana alone exists initially. It was not Brahma, it was not Shiva, no Agni, none of them existed. It is from Narayana everyone came. It is also confirmed in Gita, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. It's not just this one sloka in Gita. There are many places mentioned that Brahman, the one supreme God, who is cause of all causes, who is the ultimate goal of everyone's life, is Narayana, who is none other than Krishna himself. The purpose of Gita is to establish Krishna as the Supreme Lord, no one else. We will learn more on this when we get into the second part of Gita, which is from chapter 7 through chapter 12. So to connect back to our sloka and recap what we saw, yoga-yukto viśuddhātmā vijitātmā jitendriyaḥ sarva-bhūtātma-bhūtātmā kurvann lipyate. Arjuna asked, you said karma yogi can attain moksha very soon. How is that? And to answer that, the first two lines, yoga-yukto viśuddhātmā vijitātmā jitendriyaḥ. By victory over sense control, he is able to get the result of self-realization sooner. But for the jnana yogi, it is not possible because he has not conquered the senses. Yoga-yukta, a person who is aspiring for liberation, engages in karma yoga, that is nishkama karma yoga, which means karma yoga in Krishna consciousness. Viśuddhātmā develops uncontaminated intelligence, vijitātmā controlled mind, and jitendriyaḥ controlled senses, senses devoid of attraction to the sense objects such as sound, form, smell, etc. So that's a two-line explanation. Then we saw the third line, sarva-bhūtātma-bhūtātmā. Such person will be dear to everyone and everyone is dear to him, as he sees everything as equal to him by seeing them all different from the body as Atma. Now the last line of the sloka says, kurvann lipyate. So, such a person, yoga-yukto viśuddhātmā, vijitātmā jitendriyaḥ, sarva-bhūtātma-bhūtātmā, is not tainted with papa or punya, even if he performs actions, because he does these actions with proper understanding of Atma. So 2 points has to be noted here. Number 1, perform action does not mean that any action. One can do any kind of action which are ashastriya, meaning not prescribed by Shastra, prohibited by Shastra, and still able to be free from the reaction. That's not the case here. The action that one performs should be very specific, that mentioned in the Shastra. If anything is done against, outside of Shastra, then ashastriya. Those are not considered to be in this category, which one can attain the self-realization. The second point is, when doing the karma, one will get some fruits, the result. Not that one not get the result, one will get the result. One may get the result of the action, but this particular person, is not interested in those fruits of their action. We saw an example of a person going for a jogging and getting perspiration. The perspiration is a secondary thing, not the goal for one who runs, one who goes for jogging. Likewise, the fruits are secondary. He is not focused on that one. So the meaning of this line is to emphasize that without getting involved in jnana yoga, if a person is engaged only in karma yoga in Krishna consciousness, those actions that is performed by such yogi will not infect him with the reactions of the work. That is, he will not get papa or punya by performing action that's prescribed in the Shastra. So, to summarize, the practitioner of karma yoga performs action as prescribed in the scriptures, and those actions are done as worship to the Supreme Lord. Through this, his mind is freed of likes and dislikes, which are the effects of rajoguna and tamoguna. Because he engages his mind in actions familiar to him, the mind comes under control very easily. When the principal element, the mind, is absorbed and subdued, the other elements, the senses, are also comes under control, can be controlled. Because he is continuously engaged in contemplating on the self, when performing actions, the contemplation matures. He will be able to see his self, and not only his self, he also see others as selves. He who performs action in this manner, as prescribed, will not be associated with actions obstructing the vision of the self. So he'll be aloof from that which is distracting from him. Namaste. Hare Krishna.